In today's video, we are going to be covering the fireball with one of our pro coaches at Blueprint called Einstein. Let's get into it.
Hey, I'm Einstein. I play for Reported Gaming. I'm a former world champion and current runner-up. If you like coaching from me, check out Blueprint for my latest masterclass. For the first base, I want to play my fireball onto the rage. But how am I going to do that? Where I noticed that there are not few defenses on the bottom side, so I will start my warden at 5 o'clock. I will warden walk towards the Expo and the air defense, take out the normal archer tower at 4 o'clock with some rocket loons. Then I will overgrowth the left section with the super wizard tower, Expo. So basically the overgrowth is stopped at the world champion. And when my warden took out the Expo and the air defense, I just ice block him. And then I have 3 invisibility spells on the right side for like the Expo and the normal wizard tower, for the 2 billiards behind the town hall, and the revenge tower, multi, and the fire spitter. And then I can deploy my fireball onto the rage. I will earthquake everything, take out everything, and then I will pull my warden with my queen towards the right, towards 3 o'clock. Pay a lock launcher for the town hall to snipe that, and the king and the minion prince behind it. And then move around the base with some media golems, add on to like my queen and my warden. And yeah, depending on if I have time or not, I will play my king probably at 7 o'clock and my world champion as well to like clear with the base up from both sides. And in the end, everything should end at the clan castle and it should be triple.
Okay guys, so we just heard Einstein explain how he's going to attack this base with the overgrowth and the fireball, how he's going to use his invisors. Of course, getting the rocket loons on the air defense early to take it down. So that part's gone to plan very early. Of course, getting those archers just to test for any Tesla, as well as also taking down some early percentage points. Gonna let his warden walk, wants to get that Expo as well as that air defense down as well, as he did mention. So let's see how he's gonna be able to pull it off. So far his warden is controlled using a rocket loon right there, does pick off a deep seeking air mine, which is really nice. Needs to be a bit careful of the long shot. Plenty of skellies right here that he also needs to be a little bit careful of time, but it's looking very strong at the moment. He is still pushing on forward right there. Long shot isn't going to be able to kill this warden. There we have the ice block on the warden as the air defense goes down. Overgrowth comes down on them 4 defenses. Here are those invisibility spells. Fireball directly onto that rage tower, clearing out the entire core, only leaving the multi and 2 air sweepers up, which is not going to be the end of the world. The queen right here to pull this grand warden. The king will end up getting locked onto the totem, but then goes back. Log launcher now in for the town hall. The log launcher's job is to take it out. Now we want those meteor golems to wrap all the way around that 3 o'clock side of the base, pushing their way all the way up, which is going to be very, very nice right here. It's looking very, very strong for sure. Queen with the warden and those meteor golems doing a great job at the moment. Log launcher is going towards the town hall. 1 headhunter coming in behind, trying to kill off that king, as well as that minion prince. Bomb hive being a little bit annoying, but now as you can see at the bottom side, he has deployed an ice golem which got flung. King and royal champion to support at the bottom side. So the main purpose of this is to have his warden, queen, and meteor golems wrap over the top side at that 3 o'clock all the way up to 12 o'clock compartment, while his RC and his king clear from the 7 o'clock side going upwards, because the pathing for the meteor golems on the right side is so narrow that he doesn't have to use his king and his royal champion to funnel them back in, because that fireball made such an amazing funnel. And now everything's basically working in unison. King, royal champion one side, meteor golems the other side, and this is absolutely crushed. What an amazing attack this was by Einstein. His plan went almost perfectly right there. We're gonna find out if he would make any changes. So let's get into the replay of this attack and see what he would have done differently and what he liked about this attack.
Now let's watch the attack. I test with the Coco before deploying my warden, because I don't want my healers or my CZ to take any damage. Sniping the normal archer tower with some rocket loons that work perfectly. I'm deploying 2 archers so that my warden will definitely walk towards the air defense and the Expo on the left, just so that he stands exactly where I want him to stand when I use the fireball for the core. And here I'm just being patient. Most of the time you just can be patient on those type of bases where you have like a very stacked core. And take your time. The fireball is the most important thing here. Just playing a deep rocket loon to like trigger most of the traps. And now 2 skeleton traps popping, not ideal, but again, you don't have that much time issue for the base if you fireball the complete section in the core. And here I got a bit like, this was very close with the ice block timing, just because the air defense could have still stand if I would have deployed that like even a quarter of a second earlier. But it was fine. And I'm pulling the ward with my queen on the long shot. The queen can only go towards the right, just because on the left there's the overgrowth. I deploy my lock launcher to snap the town hall. And here I'm using a good rocket loon to like search for red bombs, because obviously this is like, when pulling the warden, this is the most crucial part for your healers. And the easiest part to bait as well. So you have to be careful for that. Just joining in with the media golems. I don't need my king and my world champion like to funnel the media golems towards the core, just because the channel is so narrow and they should just move around the base. That's why I'm deploying my king, and in a second my world champion on the bottom as well. The ice golem was a bit unfortunate with the spring trap there a couple of seconds ago, but it is what it is. And when I look at the top side with the healers, I got a bit lucky that the healers survived, just because Sneezy didn't pull out the red bombs. Obviously after the update, and I didn't have Coco Loons there for the rest. If you use a tube launcher, you would have Coco Loons, but you wouldn't then get the town hall so easily. And here I'm just popping my world champion early, making sure that she stays behind and gets the value from the ability. Rather pop it early than late. And because I didn't do a huge mistake, like hardly, maybe a very small mistake with the ice golem, that's a huge overkill and a triple. Now for the second base, I want to go in far side. I noticed when I play the fireball on one of the Mordechai's far side, preferably the top one because there's the Giga Bomb, I can get like 4 key defenses and damage the queen, the enemy queen, with the fireball. With only a run earthquake, set up a good pathing, a good funnel, and then move in at like 7:30 with with my media golems and the lock launcher. I can tank the revenge tower and the bomb hive together with like 1 or 2 skeleton spells, and then I will deploy my king at 6 o'clock, moving towards 3 o'clock, and my world champion in between, like basically towards in the scatter compartment, and helping my troops to stay in the core, taking out some damage, just moving around together through the base. And then I will overgrowth something in the back end, with my overgrowth to funnel everything closer together and take away some damage. And let's see how that works.
Alright, here we go with the second attack right here. We're going to break this down. We also already heard the plan from Einstein, using a couple of rocket loons to take out that wizard tower at the 9 o'clock side of the base with the help of the archer right there to get it done, using a couple more archers just to test for a couple of Teslas right here. So it's looking very nice at the moment. Keep in mind, wants to land the warden fireball on top of the multi-inferno, which if he can is going to be absolutely amazing. Here come those invisors, fireball on that multi-inferno, gets the scatter, gets the recoil cannon. A perfect funnel has been set for this warden right here. Now he's going to bring on his queen eventually to pull her down towards that enemy king at the 7 o'clock side of the base. Gonna let the warden potentially get the archer tower down just to reduce a little bit of damage for the back end right there. Perfectly done. Here comes that queen now. She is gonna go into this damage compartment with the recoil multi-archer tower, but using that skelly just to distract a couple of shots from both of those defenses is gonna be very, very nice. Now here comes the queen who takes down that king. Log launcher in across, trying to do damage towards that revenge tower as well as the bomb hive. King over at the 6 o'clock side is going to work the outer rim of the base right there as the royal champion comes in on the air defense at the 6 o'clock side. Looking very, very strong at the moment, I can't say so myself. Log launcher will be able to get that bomb hive, which is absolutely fantastic. Did use a skelly, if you noticed, to tank for those bombs as they were on the way to hit those troops, which is really, really well done. His plan is going very well at the moment. The planning portion of this attack was perfect, and now the execution, you can see it yourself. It's going exactly how we wanted. Of course, maybe wanted to overgrowth that monolith potentially because it is killing a lot of his meteor golems, but he should have more than enough firepower. Popping that RC ability early, making sure to get that multi-gear tower along with the spiky ball damage assistance. Now here comes that totem to turn around that recoil cannon so that it doesn't bounce its shots and hit the queen or the giant, which is fantastic. Poison Tower is being a little bit annoying, but again, he's powering through. Royal Champion still on the outside right here, doing her job. Queen is picking off all of this stuff inside the middle of the base. Now, the RC is on low HP, so we are going to get an invis spell on her just to keep her alive. A freeze as well on the wizard. Also, the air defense didn't have to freeze the AD, but you know, these pros like to show off just a little bit, which is great to see. Does get both of those defenses. RC stays alive, Queen stays alive. Keeping the RC alive did stop him from potentially time failing. Now let's see how he enjoyed this attack. So let's get a review on how he think things went.
Now I snipe the wizard tower with some rocket loons and the archer. Everything was fine. Now here I wanted to, fireball the inferno tower while the queen is standing close to it so that I damage her definitely. That's why I'm being so patient with like dropping the invisibility spell, because I'm waiting for the queen to move around. Now I'm doing a quick fireball. I tested with some archers so that there are no Tessers on the outside. Damage the queen, get the fireball delivered. And I'm having here unicorn on my warden just because there's the air defense that could snipe out my sneezy if I would have a sneezy on my warden. And then you don't need to wait so long, just because the funnel is already set with the fireball. So I'm pulling with my queen and I'm going in with my meteor golems using an early skeleton spell and as well wallbreaker. Very important to like get the queen at least into the first compartment so that she doesn't walk out again. Around the base basically. And here just being, using some Cocoloons to protect everything. Being on the outside. I delayed my world champion deliberately a bit, just because I don't want her to go directly into the damage like she's almost doing here now. Because obviously, if she's standing in the damage, it's hard to keep her alive, even if I pop her ability. I should have overgrowthed here the monolith as well, just to take out more damage, or take away more damage from the troops. Because the monolith with the long shot and the ricochet cannon basically melted all the meteor golems. That's why in the end it got a bit closer. I will pop my world champion here in a bit, so that she stays definitely out of the multi-gear tower range. This was a nice scene for me. And maybe the king spiky ball could have been a bit better. Like, could have delayed it a bit more. It wasn't that necessary there. And then I'm just trying to keep my queen and my warden alive. It's not that easy with the healer AI at the moment. I feel like it's very random. They heal like most of the time only the queen, but sometimes not even the warden at all. The warden steps bad for me, goes into towards the multi-archer tower range instead. But the clutch invis and the freeze on the world champion at the top saved a lot of time. And power-wise would have been enough, but I don't know if it would, probably time-wise as well, but it just saved a lot of time and made it a bit more clearer than it is a triple. For one-on-one coaching with me, go check out Blueprint to get a session. Also check out my latest Fireball Masterclass for more in-depth analysis. I stream daily on YouTube and Twitch, link to that will be in the description below. And remember guys, to use code BLUE. Thanks for watching, bye.